Hey gents, Amersil here. I haven't been playing as many randoms since the CV rework dropped the middle of this past week. It's not because I have decided that I hate the game or anything like that. There's so much rage on the forums right now. It's kind of sad and funny, I guess. But it has been a little bit frustrating being in games with so many CVs as a part of what, at least in my opinion, kind of amounts to an involuntary, we'll call it messy, beta test of these new carriers and all the mechanics associated with that. Now, I'm of the belief that this is probably all going to sort itself out. I give it a month or two for some tweaks to be made and probably some mechanical changes made as far as how it all works. But given that they're completely changing such a huge portion of the game, it really doesn't come as a big surprise. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't been frustrated by it, and I'm sure a lot of you have too. But it does mean that I have I have a lot of optimism that this is all going to sort itself out and the game's going to return to, well, not the same thing that it was before, but to a state of what we can, I think, loosely call normalcy, where many of us won't feel as though we've had the carpet pulled out from underneath our feet. And I think a lot of players, and in some cases rightly so, are feeling that way. We've got a lot of any of you that have spent any time around me, you know that although I've played everything, including CVs, I am a DD main. That's, well, of my, I don't know, 11,000 some odd games I've played at this point, probably roughly half are in destroyers. I just enjoy that gameplay the most. But oh, this poor Omaha. But there are other ships to play. And while they're working these bugs out, and they are working them out. In fact, Wargaming posted earlier today, I think it was, that they recognize that there are problems, and they're going to put a hot fix in, which is basically just their way of saying we're not going to do another full patch. We're just going to change some things that we know are glaringly problems, so that we can then further test and get some more tweaks made to kind of round off all the sharp edges on this thing. So anyhow, I figured since I hadn't played I know that had to hurt. As a player, when that's happened to me, I just cringe. Anyhow, but man, it felt good. So I thought, well, I had this game tonight as well. I'll just play one random, and it was this, the game that we're watching right now. And I thought, well, I can talk a little bit about the game as it proceeds, which to me, this game, for me at least, was kind of a study in positioning. Which, as the game goes on, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, I wanted to take a moment, kind of as things get rolling, to talk a little bit about the CV rework, and any of you that watch the half dozen of you or so that do, to know that I'm. It's been discouraging on a game-by-game level right now, but big picture, I don't expect this is going to be a problem for long. Things will sort themselves out. The game will get back to feeling more like most of us are accustomed to it feeling. I mean, right now, and as a lot of community contributors have been demonstrating with their play, CVs in the right hands are just devastatingly powerful. Because some of the mechanics are just straight up broken. So anyhow, positioning in this game. So I hit Hydro just in time to be able to get him some idea of where he was before I got out of his range. And I knew Torps were coming, so I didn't want to get too close. But knowing where he was allowed me to get out some shots and then do that. And you can see I'm already trying to get guns on the Dallas. And I've given the trajectory of those torpedoes, I don't have anything to worry about there. I actually, in my opinion at least, had the good fortune to be on a team that really kind of worked together. You can see the Helena was there. The Helena it took a little bit different angle than me, so that one or the other of us had, good shots at that DB. So we got Icarus pushing in. Gneisenau is, I'm not sure exactly what Gneisenau is doing. Maybe positioning to avoid torpedoes. I'm not sure, but why the Gneisenau is headed that direction. This Icarus never really had a chance. So basically my thought process here is, okay, we got a Dallas, he's by himself. We have a friendly York on the other side. He's at close range, so the Dallas is having to contend with him. Push up, push center. We don't have any other red ships on this side. I need to get to where my guns are going to be able to do my team some good. And yeah, there are the Torps headed for Gneisenau, so that is what he was trying to. So that's what I'm doing. It's just, full steam ahead, and let's get to where the guns can do some good. And you can see Helena is doing the same thing, and Gneisenau, having outrun the torpedoes, does the same thing. Just makes maximum speed to try to get guns on something. Gneisenau, I think, runs south and tries to get guns on the enemy cap, while I run center to support our York, and we've got Helena right behind me. So while we've got a minute, while I'm just kind of crossing the map here, any of you that do watch, I'm really curious, have you been playing the CVs at all? I haven't played the new CVs. I've played literally 0 games in the new CVs, despite having some CVs in my port. It's not because I am necessarily vehemently opposed to the whole CV rework or anything. I think it needed to happen. For a variety of reasons we don't necessarily need to go into right now, but the way that it stands right now, arguably is worse. But I think because of the way that they've designed this, the CVs now, it's going to be a lot easier for them to bring things in line and get it more balanced than anything they could have done with the old RTS system that they were using. My opinion, we'll see, how it works out, but that's probably what I think is going to happen. So, pushing forward, Helena, again, right behind me. Yeah, Gneisenau did go south. York is just pushing their cap. And I'm thinking to myself at this point, I kind of applaud the audacity of that, but I'm hoping he's going to just get barely edge into the cap there and kind of use that island as cover, because seeing all those big guns there, if their cap starts to tick green at all, they're all going to turn around and get their guns on him. So that's what I'm thinking as I get off one shot at Nagato, hoping to start a fire, and there it is. How about that? Of course, it's not going to last long, but
I need air support.
Take what I can get. So, I moved center to be able to get my guns on something, and that's where everything's at. So I'm glad I made that choice. Now, I'm trying to snuggle up to the island on my right, and was trying to get guns on York, which meant my guns weren't traversing quickly because I was turning the nose of the ship to the starboard side and trying to turn the guns to the port side. But I did manage to land a couple shells on York there, get some more shots off on him, and now I'm starting to think, okay, I got to pay a little more attention to how close I am to the island, because if I am not close enough to the island, the Nagato or one of these other red battleships is going to flap me out of the water. Now, having said that, Furutaka at Tier 5 is just, I believe, an absolute monster. Yeah, okay, it has a slower reload than some of the other ships, but it's got 203s at Tier 5, and it's got a good number of them, so, and their accuracy is it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's a really, really great ship. So, okay, so I'm looking here, so, okay, we'll see if I can help finish off the York, because, he's got the Leon behind the island there, so I'm sure he's trying to avoid, this is kind of what I'm thinking as I'm playing, he's trying to avoid getting too close to the Leon, and he's taking fire from anyway. Let's see what I can do to help. That was just a bad shot. Now, I'm going to reverse, but even though that's German AP, because of the range that I'm at, and the really trollish armor that Furutaka has, I'm not all that worried at this range. I mean, you saw he landed some shells, and he's probably thinking, what the, because really didn't do anything. So, any of you that have just kind of, like I did initially when I first started playing, just kind of flown through the tiers, and you went past Furutaka, I highly encourage you to consider going back and doing it again, because if you've played through some higher tiers and have a little bit more experience under your belt, you'll be able to make a lot better use of the tools that the Furutaka brings to the table. Okay, so York, well, he squared off with the Nagato, which probably wasn't a good idea. I don't know whether he was trying to get torps on the Nagato or just what, but he ended up running away and got finished off before he could get to safety. So I'm going to make good use of this position here. Try and stay unspotted. Now I know Colorado's going to see me eventually, but I'll try to get off some shots. And our Helena just burned down the Nagato. Try and get off some shots. Maybe I can get a fire on the Colorado. I want to avoid being able to take fire from both the Colorado and the Koenig. So backing up now. He hit me. Yeah, 1,000 or so damage. In this ship, it's not like I want to put myself out in harm's way, but even against the Colorado shells, I'm a little bit more comfortable, especially at this angle, that I'll probably be okay allowing myself to take a shot here or there. Now it's time to move forward again. I'm looking right now to see what his guns are doing, and you see they're starting to traverse. So they're moving from starboard side to port side. Yep, and I can really see it on the front of the ship that, okay, he's not going to be able to aim his guns at me right away. So I'm going to go ahead and get out here, and I'm just judging his speed, making sure it's consistent. And I can get some more shots on the Colorado here. Yeah, it's just chip damage, but he's burning, get a little more chip damage, and that adds up. So he's at 16,000 more or less, down to 13. Probably not much chance I'm going to land him, but I'm going to throw the torps out there anywhere. There's another fire, and maybe I can get off. Maybe the Afghans will be able to get around the island. Yep. Okay, so now I can push forward. I got a DD ahead of me. I got to make sure I don't get torped in the nose. I've got a plane that I can put in the air. I've got hydro. Like I was saying a couple minutes ago, this ship is really awesome at Tier 5. So I'm going to go ahead and accelerate. Unless he's already launched his torpedoes, he's not going to be able to get me with them, and the fire got the Colorado. So I'll just try and get some shells on the Mahan. Now I'm guessing here he's probably going to run. If I was in his situation, he's got a Helena and a Furutaka that are kind of lighting him up. I don't think I'd want to stick around. He's burning, presumably from the Helena, which is keeping him lit up. And it was just another bad shot from me. Misjudged the lead. I don't know about you, but when somebody's angled like that, I always have a hard time knowing exactly where to aim. And there he just turned as I fired, basically, is all that boils down to. So I was hoping to get one more shot off, but no. Now, I've been looking at the mini-map this whole time, and I see where the CB was last spotted. You kind of see that at F9-ish, at the bottom of the island down there. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's all that's left. I've got 3 kills. I'm the closest to both red ships. I'm going to go ahead and push. I'm going to push straight at where I expect the CB to be, which is, in my best guess, probably moving north from that position, and there he is. So I'm just going to run through that gap, I'm thinking. I'm going to have to basically just try and avoid the aircraft. And maybe I can kill both the CB and the Mahan and get myself a Kraken. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, it's long odds, and if the CB player has any luck at all, he might be able to put some holes in my ship. Especially if Mahan now turns around and comes back to help him. But he is moving forward. So I'm just going to go ahead and push on through there. Now he's lining up to drop these torpedoes. I can see it coming from a mile away. I just angle accordingly. Do a little bit of a wiggle here to make sure I get through. And now I just wait. Now I'm thinking about going AP here, but if I can get him burning, that's optimum. So I'm just stuck with HE, and the HE on this ship does pretty good damage anyway. The sounds in this game are just great. I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking. A is going off. I can hear the planes. I can see them coming. At this range, yep, HE Citadel. Gotta love that. Now remember, if it were me and I was in the Mahan, I'd be coming to help the Ryuho. So, or Ryujo. Another HE Citadel. I'll just throw some corpse out and get ready for the DD that I'm expecting to show up in a second. Starting to change my angle. There he is. Another HE Citadel. Now, how fast can I put the guns around? I'm going to throw the torps out there just in the off chance he cuts in just tight. I'm trying to avoid torpedoes here. That's the only reason I swung the ship around that way. But I think I'm probably okay here. And at this point, if I do it right, he could be a one-shot kill. And there it is. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it a lot. And I'll see you next time.